Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ash and today I'm going to be walking you through my first ever red carpet experience. The show that we are going to be talking about today is Dance Life. Now this is streaming on Amazon Prime and it has currently been out for around about 6 months. You know what, let me just search it real quick because I'm interested to see how long it has actually been out. I just checked and according to the power of the internet, it has been 6 months and 2 weeks, so I was pretty close. 6 months and 2 weeks since Dance Life came out on Amazon Prime. Now this is a documentary TV series that I was part of to a minimal extent, let me add, okay? Now, before we get into today's video, I do want to do a little disclaimer. This video was supposed to be a vlog style video. I bought a new camera that you guys are now watching me on. I bought a new camera before I went to Australia at the beginning of this year for the premiere. However, I at this point had only had the camera for about 2 weeks and I was still getting used to using the camera. So unfortunately, at the start of the day, the footage is fine, but unfortunately all of the actual premiere content and getting ready content, I filmed in slow motion. It's in slow motion and it has no sound, so for that reason I'm sitting down doing a talk style video. That way I can still show you some clips, but if you're like, why is it all in slow motion or like sped up? That's why, okay? I was just getting used to a new camera, to be honest, and sometimes that happens. So I now know how to use my camera. All right, let's start with the morning of. The morning of the premiere, I just wanted to spend some time with my cousin. Her and I have a really close relationship. If you haven't already seen some of the vlogs we've done together, you need to go watch them right now. Her and I together, chaos. But I also just wanted to spend the morning grounding myself. The premiere was so exciting, but I just like wanted to calm my energy so that I could feel centered before the crazy evening. So the first thing that Caitlin and I did was we went for a morning sauna. We're now at Room to Sweat in our cozies. Caitlin's got a cute blue shirt.
Just a question, do New Zealanders call them cozies as well?
No, we call them togs. But I started saying cozies because no one knew what I meant when I said togs. Everyone was like, yo, what now?
Because even in Melbourne they say bathers, so it's like so different.
So I learned to say cozy.
Sorry, sidetrack.
She's got the blue cozies slash togs. I've got pink bottoms, so you literally can't see. The pink and pink. This is literally Caitlin's long. Yeah. We're just having like cute wholesome sauna sweat sesh.
I feel like we both need it.
Yeah, literally. So I'll see you after.
Bye.
Now, her and I love doing that. It is my favorite thing to do for my personal recovery. I genuinely feel like when my muscles are sore, when my mental fatigue is high and I'm just feeling a bit bleh, having an infrared sauna just, it does wonders for my body. But anyway, her and I went and we did a nice infrared sauna together. And that was such a great way for me to just like sweat, warm up, because I get cold so easily. And just to like slow down my energy for the day. Then we went for a spontaneous brunch. Now, my favorite place to go for brunch in Cronulla is Blackwood Pantry. Not you and your woohoo.
I'm ready to devour some food.
How are you feeling post Sauna.
I feel very relaxed.
Yeah. Very zen.
Very brain's not functioning. But I feel good. I feel a lot better than when I went into it.
That's good. I feel
Rejuvenated.
I actually do. I feel really grounded. Like we changed the light colour from red to green halfway through, and I feel like real grounded and zen.
Yes.
It's really good. It's much needed.
Very needed. Yeah, that actually true. Maybe the green one.
Yeah, I think it is.
What's it meant to do?
It's for joint inflammation and for grounding.
And opens your heart chakra.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Catch us in love.
Well, she is. So you catch me in a relationship in 2024, that is why.
The green saunas.
It's the green saunas. But anyway, we're ordering food from Blackwood, aka my fave, but I'm freaking starving right now. I've had breakfast, as you saw, but I don't know, today I'm just like extra hungry. So I don't know what I'm gonna get, but we're gonna get something good. Every influencer and every YouTuber ever goes to Blackwood Pantry who lives in Cronulla, okay? But there is a reason. They are so good, like so good. Their food is so fresh. Their service is incredible. What I also love about Blackwood Pantry is just the vibe. It's so aesthetic. There's wood, there's like little elements of pink. They've got sugar-free, gluten-free, dairy-free alternatives. So it's perfect for every diet essentially. And their menu is so good, so good. So on this morning, Caitlin and I went for a cute little brunch, and when we were at brunch, her and I took the opportunity to talk about our goals for the year. That's kind of the relationship we have. Like I truly feel like your friends should be your biggest supporters, and so we took this brunch to like celebrate the achievements that we'd already made and also to set our intentions for the new year. And I was just so happy. It was so fun. It was such a nice way for us to connect, and it just felt so special. After brunch, I went home and I packed my suitcase. I had a little pink suitcase with all of my shoes, accessories, dress, literally everything I would need. And I took it on the train to the twins' house. Now, the twins, Destiny and Charlotte, were in my full-time year, and I went to go get ready at their house because I hadn't seen them in forever, and we wanted to go to the event together. Now let's talk about the dress. So I took so long to decide what I wanted to wear to this premiere because I wanted it to be something really elevated. I wanted to look good, obviously. I wanted to feel good, but I also really wanted to tribute New Zealand, and I wanted to tribute my heritage. Real quick, can I just say New Zealand and Australia, we are two different places. Okay, I feel like so many people get us mixed up. So I ended up going with a dress rental because it was the easiest thing for me to do. And I was traveling, I wasn't gonna buy an expensive dress and take it with me in my suitcase. So instead, I hired a dress from Shy Hire. And what is great about them is you can actually book in an appointment and try on a whole bunch of different dresses. And the girls there, oh my God, they were so lovely and so helpful. I think I tried on about like 10 different dresses before I found the one. I'll put some examples up here for you guys to have a look of other options I tried on, but there was one clear winner, okay? And that ended up being the Nour dress. Now, I don't know if I'm saying this right, it's spelled N-O-U-R. The Nour dress in emerald, and that is from Sonia Moda. So the brand Sonia Moda, the Nour dress in emerald, and I hired it from Shire Hire in Cronulla, and it just, if you look at the photos, Exhibit A, it just ended up being so perfect, like exactly what I was initially envisioning. It just reminded me of like the lush forests that we have in New Zealand. So I was like, this is perfect. This is the perfect one for me. And I loved the fit of it. I loved the fact that you could tie the side. Just sat perfectly on my body. And as soon as I put that one on, I knew like this is the one. In terms of accessories, first of all, I ran into a little bit of a problem. Now, the problem is that I actually bought some Louboutins, secondhand Louboutins, might I add, okay? And I was shipping them up from the South Island, like literally the bottom of the South Island, and that takes a long time. So unfortunately it arrived while I was in Australia. So I had my backup heels, which were my silver ones that I wore to ball actually, and they are from Nova Shoes, I believe, off the top of my head. So I did end up wearing silver shoes and I had gold jewelry, and I normally don't like clashing metals, but sometimes you just have to do what you gotta do, you know? But I do love gold jewelry on my body just because it just makes my skin glow, and again, it makes my hair pop. So I had all gold jewelry, I had gold earrings, I had my gold necklace on, which I literally wear every day. I'm not wearing it today for some reason, but I literally wear that necklace every day. I got it from a market in Moore Park, actually, right outside Brent Street. My nails were actually press-ons because I didn't want to waste money on a set just for an event, especially when I had to also hire a dress and travel over. So I ended up getting press-on nails from like the chemist, and they worked so well. They were white and they had like gold accents on them. So that's what were on my nails for the day. And then my favorite element of the look, I had this gold armband which had like a spiral, which reminded me of the kuru shape in Māori. A kuru is one of the shapes that's commonly seen in Māori artwork. I am not Māori, but we literally get taught so much about Māori culture, and it's like so inherently in New Zealand culture. The kuru shape to me is something that I've grown up seeing everywhere and it's just something that's so special. So the shape itself is based on the shape of a new unfolding silver fern, and I have silver ferns all over my house, literally all throughout our bush. So growing up, I would always like play in the fields and like pick the silver ferns, and you like try stamp them on your arms because sometimes like it transfers over. So to me, I wanted something that would really just like make me feel connected to home. So I had that little gold armband. If I had pounamu, which is traditionally gifted from my knowledge to someone, you can't like buy it, it has to be gifted to you. If I still had that, I would have been able to wear that, and that would have been like an even better way to bring in my culture. However, I did not. So that little gold armband was my way of just kind of like a small element of Kiwi culture coming into my outfit, and that like I think just made the outfit. Plus it was so me, like it was so me. It was just a little bit of glam, a little bit of gold, just pulled the whole look together, and I loved it. Hair and makeup. Now my hair and makeup I actually did myself. I just wanted something natural. I didn't want to do anything super fancy. I just wanted to be natural and slick, and that is honestly true to myself. Like in terms of my everyday makeup routine, it's very natural looking. So I didn't want to do like a super glam look because I felt like that isn't true to me. I just wanted to be elevating who I already am. So I decided to do a super natural makeup base, and then I literally just straightened my hair. Arriving at the premiere, the excitement was so high, like I felt it bubbling under my skin. The nerves were also high because we hadn't seen our cohort, our course year level in a year at this point. We'd had a year where all of the footage was in post-production, so it was being edited, being reviewed, being sent back and forth between people to be given the okay for it to be published. I was feeling a little bit nervous, just a little bit, but as soon as I walk in the door, the first person I'm greeted by as we're walking in the door is Lucas. Lucas, if you don't already know, is the owner of Brent Street. being greeted by Lucas and seeing him again was so refreshing and so nice, and it was really nice to see him again. As soon as we walked inside, the first thing you see is the red carpet heading up to the photo wall. So they had the Dance Life logo blown up, and then they had like a massive lighting rig with a big camera, and everyone was lining up to take their photo as you enter the venue. So we all lined up to take a photo, and I took some photos with my friends and then a couple by myself. It was so nice. And then we had some time to mingle and chat before the event. So it was the best. I just spoke to everyone. I was so happy to see people again. Like, Sydney and Brent Street had just become my home. And although I had spent the past 6 months in New Zealand, I truly felt so much more connected to that place and those people, and seeing everyone again was literally the best feeling. One thing about me is I am a talker, so anytime you get me to a networking event, I thrive. I love talking to people. I had a chat to Cassie. She was so busy, so it was just a brief chat. Felicia and I were having a really long chat as well, and then I got to have a chat to like heaps of my classmates. Alayra, Archer had a brief chat, but she was so busy. I chatted to everyone for ages. Like I can't really remember, it was so long ago. And yeah, it was just the best feeling because I hadn't seen these people in so long, and we all just have this like really nice connection because we went through this whole experience together. So it was like the most beautiful feeling I have experienced in a long time. Now it comes down to the moment we'd all been waiting for, and that is actually watching the series. So once we'd got inside, we all found our seats. Alayra, myself, and a group of other people, I could not tell you who else I was sitting next to. I do not remember. It was 6 months ago, but there was a group of us, and we all went up to seats at the back because by the time I had finished talking to everyone, I love talking to people, but by the time I had finished having a yarn with everybody, everyone had already found their seats. So we went sat up the back, and it was actually a really nice view. We decided to sit at the very back in the middle rather than at the sides further down because the view was better, and I'm so glad we did because we had a beautiful view. The main characters were all sitting at the front with their families, I believe. They all had reserved seats, which is so good because it just means that they were respected and their experience was respected. Then we had a speech. I believe it was from Jade and Luke, but it could have been from Lucas. Again, it was a very long time ago, but we had a speech. They welcomed us all in. Lights went black and the premiere started. So we got to watch episode 1, and that was it. We watched the whole of episode 1, which I believe is about 40 minutes to 50 minutes in total. It was the best feeling watching with everyone because we all had the exact same reactions at the exact same times. Just so amazing. I'm very grateful that I decided to travel over to experience that with everybody because it's just like a once in a lifetime feeling. Like my initial reaction and the group's initial reaction. So my initial reaction was just shock, like pure shock. And I genuinely feel like that was felt around the room by everyone because the show, apart from the main characters who'd been a part of like the whole editing process and had already watched it before it came out, the show was not at all what any of us like were anticipating because obviously we lived through it, but the lens through which they portrayed Brent Street and the show like was so different than any of us anticipated. Some people were anticipating like a reality TV show. I was anticipating a documentary style show more along the lines of just following like our journey, but I didn't realize like how much they would dive into such deep topics and the respectful and honest manner in which they did it. In watching it back, I was in shock at how well they just pulled everything together. Like, it was incredible. There was a lot of screaming. There was a lot of crying. I had some tears shed. I specifically cried at Emily's story, which is in episode 1, because Emily and I are friends. Like, I spent every single lunchtime with Emily and like our group of friends, and I never knew the whole story of what happened, and I'm not gonna talk about it in depth on here. It's not my place. Like, go watch the show. I knew like parts, but obviously Emily and I were friends, but we just had met that year. So like, although we spent every single lunch together, I respect her privacy and I respect the fact that she's not telling me like her whole life story, because like I wouldn't do the same back. We just met, you know what I mean? I had this whole entire like newfound respect for Emily was always one of the most hardworking and determined and humble and respectful people I'd ever met, and that's why I personally had so much respect for her. But after watching that episode 1, I had like this whole newfound respect for her that I didn't have before. And like, Em, I love you so much, and I still do, and you know that. My favorite moments from episode 1. Okay, my favorite moment was the clip of Tiana introducing herself to Tom. None of us knew that the camera crew actually managed to capture the moment where T and Tom like first met. None of us witnessed that first initial meeting. And so the fact that they had captured the very first day when Tom and Tiana met, oh my god, it was the funniest thing. Like, that is my favorite moment for sure. The whole cinema erupted in laughter because none of us were expecting that at all. And it was also just like the most cute, wholesome moment. Like, and then another favorite moment, and this is just going off what I remember, I haven't watched the series in a good few months, but another favorite moment was Cassie's introduction. And my favorite shot was, there's like this one shot, I don't know which beach, I assume it's Bondi, but there's like an aerial shot of her like sprinting down the beach in the sand. It is the most beautiful shot, and like that was another favorite moment from the series for sure. To finish up, I want to talk about my overall perspective of the Dance Live series itself as someone who lived through it. And this is going to be very brief. If you want me to make another video on this and like do a deep dive into like the specifics, I definitely can, but this video has been long enough already. So I just want to give a brief overview of my personal opinion of the series based off of my lived experience of the show. First of all, I want to say that this series is the most authentic representation of the current dance industry and the problems that we face in the current dance industry. I love how the producers decided to not script anything. They'd been very honest from the beginning that they were just looking to see what happens. They never knew what the storyline was going to be. They never knew what was going to unfold. They solely went off of the people that were in front of them, the real life experiences that happened to them during the year, and the real life stories that people were willing to tell. I also really respect the fact that the Dance Life series is about dancers and the industry and people's authentic stories more than it is just about like Brent Street and the brand. Because Lucas, Jade and Luke could have very easily decided like, we're just gonna make this a Brent Street promo documentary. But the fact that they decided to use their voice to share young dancers' personal experiences, lived experiences, and share an authentic representation of what it's like to be a dancer in the industry, to be a young aspiring dancer, to be training 30, 40 hours a week. Like, I have so much respect for the fact that they put us as people and as dancers in the forefront of that, and also the Australian dance industry as a whole in the forefront of that, instead of it just being like all about Brent Street, the brand, right? I have so much respect for that. I was pleasantly surprised with the series. There is heaps of stuff that they obviously didn't include. They only had 5 episodes to fit everything in, and it was a whole year that they filmed. But that is us for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed my content, please make sure to subscribe down below because it really helps my channel. I am over halfway to being monetized, so if you're enjoying my videos and you're seeing them popping up frequently, please hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions at all, please leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah!